This is a continuation tutorial of Spring Boot for beginners. So in my last tutorial I have covered that how we are going to create the project, how we are going to import those projects, understanding about the project structure. Now it's time to, as we have covered all the points, so now it's time to create the one simple REST controller where we are going to create a new Java class, something like maybe let's say it's a hello controller. Then we are going to expose some kind of GET APIs and we will see how it is working. So we can create one class over here. So if you see that project already imported over here, so from our new, then we can create one class. Let's say it's a hello controller. Okay, so to make it this particular class as behave it is will be the REST controller, we need to annotate this particular class with the annotation that @REST controller. This particular package, this particular annotation will come from this Spring Boot packages. Okay, we need to import this one annotation. Now if you see, let me import it, this one org spring framework.web.bind.annotation. Okay, so this is the package, that's from package actually this particular annotation is coming. We can open it and we can see the details from over here. Okay, types that carry the annotation treated as a controller. Okay, right, so this is the, to make it as a REST controller we need to annotate this particular class as REST controller. Next, what we are going to do, we are going to create one class, one API. Let's say GET API, let's say hello. Okay, so for that we have created one method, kind of, it will be public, return table with a string, and let's say API name is the hello, and it will return this particular string. So to make it as it is a GET mapping, so for that Spring actually having that GET mapping annotation. If you see this GET mapping also annotation coming from this org.springframework.web.bind annotation, and the path will be the hello. So this is the path. Using this we can call this API and we need to get the response as hello Spring Boot. Okay, so now like if we want to run our application, so how we are going to run this one? So either this is the main entry point of this Spring Boot application, we can right click over here and run as Java application. Right click, then run as Java application. It will actually start the application, and after starting this application we can directly test this API that it is working fine or not. What will be the URL? The URL will be http://localhost 8080 port and then hello. Okay, here it's saying okay, application got failed because in a POM file we have used actually some database informations, database dependencies like the H2 dependencies, but as we have used these H2 dependencies over here, but we are not defining any kind of, as we have used this data JPA but we have not used any kind of properties file, so that's why it's causing the issue. For the time being we can like comment it out and again we can start our application. So next time if you see that the Spring Boot demo application already is coming over here, so here also we can directly start this application, just click over here. So again it will actually start our application. So once actually application start, then we can execute our API, that GET mapping that we have created in the hello controller, so that we can access from the browser. So in a browser I have open and run this API localhost 8080 then /hello. So it is actually returning us this message. If you see, this is the message we are getting actually. Okay, so in this way we can create the REST controller, and also we can add some APIs over here as I have created GET mapping over here. Okay, and next what we are going to do, we are going to like add the database information and we are going to do some kind of the CRUD activities. So how we are going to add the database properties and where we need to keep those properties? So first of all we need to add these dependencies, this data JPA, And as I'm going to use these H2 databases, so for that we need to add the H2 dependencies over here. Okay, so here we need to add these H2 dependencies, H2 database. Okay, so this H2 database version is not needed, so we need to add this H2 database into our system. Next, in the properties file, we need to define the details of database like URL, driver class name, username, password, then like platform, then like console is enabled or not. So these are the few properties we need to add over here. Okay, see, just trying to format this one. Okay, so here if you see spring.datasource.url, this is the format or pattern we can say. Here we need to defining this URL, that what will be the URL for this H2 database. So this is the in-memory database, and this is the database name. Then driver class, it will be the H2 driver. If it is a MySQL, then we need to provide the MySQL driver. If it is a Oracle, then we need to provide the Oracle. If it is a Postgres, means the driver class name will be different based on the database. Then username, password, whatever the username, password you need to define, that we need to define over here. Then platform, and we need to enable the console. Okay, so once actually you have start this application, then we can check that this H2 in-memory database successfully installed, or you can be able to view the H2 database or not. That we can check from the browser. Okay, so this is now this in this way basically we can defining this H2 console actually. Now what we are going to do, we need to just to check, we need to create one entity. Let's say this user. Okay, okay, here we can create this user. We can defining the getter and setter. Let's say if we use this, okay, we have not used the Lombok, so we need to create this either manually, or else we can add the dependencies Lombok, this one. Okay, the version is not needed. Okay, now we can use the getter and setter over here. Getter, setter. Okay, after that, next we are going to create one repository. Let's say user repository. So here we are going to create that user repository. Okay, and it will basically extend this JPA repository. It actually having all the methods like flush, save and flush, then save all flush, delete, find all, find by ID, all the methods actually it's having. Okay, if we open this list card operations, then actually it's having this save all, then find all by ID. So all the default methods actually we can use using this repository. If we are not going to use repository, then we are not able to save the data into the database and those things. Next we are going to create one service layer where we need to defining this get all user, then add user, all the methods we need to defining over there. So here if you see this get all, so here we have created the user service, and here we have used this this user repository. It will basically get all user, where based on this repository we are using this find all method, and if we want to add the user, then dot save dot user. So here it's saying that repository is not available. Okay, so what else we need to do, because we have already used this JPA repository, right, but it somehow is not able to access. So for that, what else we can do, we just need to like clean this project. How we are going to clean this one? Select update project, then force update, and then okay. So it will actually basically clean this one so that we can able to access this one, because we have already having this access of this JPA repository, somehow is not able to, okay, still it's not, class not found, JPA repository. Let's see in the POM file, Spring Boot data JPA. If you see over here that actually I have stopped this application and again restart this one, then it's resolved that issue, but now it is showing something different issue, that while actually means as I have defining this property like this this one, so it's actually auto, means once the application is start, then it will actually trying to create this particular table into the database. So now the thing is that while it's trying to create that particular table, then it's actually not able to create that one. So we need to check that what is the issues, because we have used this ID, and here maybe instead of auto, if we auto is also fine, but let's see, use this identity if it is working or not. Yeah, it's again causing the issues. So maybe it's already having some kind of the user related entities, so maybe we need to just rename this one, let's say users. Okay, let it finish, then we will see that the issue still again is there or not. If you see, now looks like the issues resolved, right? Means now it's able to actually create the table with this. Here also it's mentioned that h2 console available at this /h2 console. Okay, means we can check from over here. We can check this console. So here we need to do the login. If you see that user got created, right? But currently we don't have any data over here. Okay, so if we just open this one, then name. Okay, so now actually from the controller we need to use this service, correct? So now this service layer is ready. Now from the controller we need to use this service layer, and then we need to like get all user. We can add this method. Again it will be a get mapping, which will basically return us all the data. It will be the user. So this is a get all user, which will return all the users from the database. So that API we can try from the browser once it will start. So it will looks like start, and then here instead of hello we can click call this users. So currently it is not able to fetch any data. Let's say why it is not able to fetch. Okay, maybe it's got restarted, so that's why it doesn't have any record, right? So we can again like check. We need to run this one, and we need to add some records like 1, then test, again like let's say 2, then test 1. Okay, now if we try this, it will give us the data, right? ID, name, and this is a combination, right? So in this way basically we can like return us all the things. So if you see this here, actually we can add multiple APIs, so that actually I've already covered few of the one of my example. You guys can get the data from over there, but this is the just overall thing that how we are going to create the REST controller, add the database information, and also we are going to add the database into our existing Spring Boot APIs, and how we are going to connect that one, how we are going to write the APIs, how we are going to fetch all the records from the database. If you guys have anything, please do let me know in the comment section. Thank you for joining me on this journey throughout this tutorial for beginner. If you found this tutorial helpful, please consider liking the videos, sharing with others who might benefit, and subscribing to our channel for more in-depth tutorial. See you in my next videos. Bye bye.